In today's video, I'm going to break down the top 3 secret tips to play lockdown zone coverage defense in College Football 25. No matter if you need help defending the sidelines, the flats, or even the middle of the field, I can promise you after watching this video, your zone defense is going to be improved 100 times, and the best part is you can use these tips from any playbook and in any game mode. So if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop me a like on the video. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is some tips you can use to greatly improve your flat zones. Flat zones are the most important zone in the game because they are used to defend all the best routes in the game, whether we're talking about flat routes, deep sideline routes like corners and speed outs, or even zigs, returns, whips, those types of routes that everybody is using. You need flats to defend them. But I can promise you, you're using your flat zones wrong. Because there's some secret flat zones that defend certain things better than others. There's some specific zone drops you're going to want to use. And the weird part about it is that a lot of the flat zones, they don't really do what they're supposed to do. But I'm going to show you guys some tricks to make them work better. First thing we're going to go over is whips, zigs, those types of routes. As you guys can see here, we got the slot receiver Burden. He's running a whip route. These are some of the best routes in the game. Now, the common thing the average player is going to do is, they're going to get in some sort of cover 3 or cover 4, and they're going to use a hard flat thinking that this is going to defend the zig. Because, the zig is cutting at about 4 to 5 yards. But the problem is good offensive players, what they're going to do is they're going to have some sort of out route, quick flat route, something to take away your quick flat, your hard flat, and that's going to just be open every single time. So if somebody's attacking you with whips, zigs, returns, what you actually want to do is you want to use seam flats. Do not use hard flats, use seam flats. Now, seam flats are going to be found in cover 3 match defenses. Now, go to your defensive playbook and look for cover 3 match. I'm in the 3-3-5 penny, and you guys can see here, we got palms, but bam, cover 3 match. Now, it's a matching play because you guys can see, look at those purple pinkish zones. If those zones are light pink, that's going to be match. However, if they're more dark purple, like at a cover 3 sky, that's just going to be a regular zone and not a matching flat zone. You want to find the cover 3 match because those are the matching flat zones, and you also need to make sure your zone drops for flats, curl flats, and hooks are set to default, because if you turn them on any sort of actual yardage, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever, they won't work right. So let's go ahead and pick the play cover 3 match, and we're going to notice a huge difference here. We're going to run the same play. So you guys can see here, we have our seam flats, and watch how it defends that whip route. You guys can see, he literally plays the route for us. He breaks on it, and that's an easy pick 6. Now, I'm just going to go down, and I'm going to do that once more so you guys can see this is consistent. A seam flat is going to absolutely cage that whip route every time. As you guys can see here, we're taking that away. That's another pick 6, okay? Now, the best part about this tip is you can utilize it from other defenses. So let's say that you happen to be in cover 4 drop, for instance, here. Now, cover 4 drop has curl flats. They do not do a good job. Say we're getting killed with this whip or zig. We can simply put the slot corner over on that side of the field into a seam flat. As you guys can see, seam flat is up on the left analog stick. Now he's in a seam flat, as you guys can see, and he's going to get that same matching reaction that we got from the cover 3 match. Just because it's a seam flat, he plays the route, and that's going to be broken up or picked every single time. Now, what about actually defending the deep sideline? A lot of players are getting killed by speed outs, corners, and things of that nature. Now, what most people will do in order to defend the flats is they'll say, you know what, let me zone drop my flat to 15 or 20 yards. And generally, this could do a good job if we come out in cover 4, but there is still a problem that we need to address. So any defense that has flat zones, we're going to go ahead and use. So we're in cover 4 here, and you would think to yourself, okay, I put my flat zones on, 15, 20 yards, whatever. I'm just going to shade my coverage over the top, or basically make the purple zones into cloud flats. And you're thinking like, the cloud flat, the responsibility of a cloud flat is to defend the sideline. So it should do a good job, right? Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. You can see the cloud flat, like he gets decent depth, but he doesn't get to the sideline. So if you zoom in on the cloud flat, you'll see he'll drop back, but he won't get any depth to the sideline, which is why we can fit this in here every time. Now, I think we dropped the ball here, But you can see the cloud flat is in no position to make a play. He is stuck in mud. He's not getting out to the sideline even though we zone dropped him to 15 or 20 yards. So what you're actually going to want to do to defend this better, if you want to get better at college football 25 and win more games, check out my college football VIP membership on sportsgamerz.com. Put the link to order in the comments and the description. You will get access to all the content I release for college football all year long, including the best offense in the game, the best defense in the game, my secret A-gap blitzes, my rollout glitch, my run defense, and my pass defense, and much more. Let's dominate together, boys. Is shade your coverage underneath to get hard flats by hitting coverage audible, triangle, or Y, and then down on the right analog stick. You'll notice that hard flats will defend this much better because when you zone drop them to 15 or 20 yards, they will actually sprint out to the sideline. Watch my hard flat. He's actually sprinting underneath the ball to break it up himself. That's going to be a pick or a breakup every time. So if we zoom in on this hard flat, you're going to see the massive difference. Not only does he drop back to the proper depth, but he sprints out to the sideline to break this up. This is going to be picked or broken up every time. Now you can apply this tip to any defense that uses flat zones. It can even be used in cover 2. So let's say, for instance, I'm in cover 2 and I'm getting killed on the sideline. It would be much better to zone drop my flats to 15, 20, whatever depth I need, and then shade my coverage underneath to get rid of the cloud flat and use a hard flat. Now this time I'm actually going to attack with a corner route from the slot receiver, and you're going to see it's the same thing. That hard flat is sitting right there for the pick every single time in perfect position. Now let's take things a step further. What if we need to defend the sidelines, but also the flats at the same time? How can we do this? This is when you're going to need to use another zone drop and the use of another zone. So what I'm going to recommend doing in situations like this is set your zone drops for your flats to either, I would say 20 to 25. We'll do 25 here. And your curl flats to 5. This is going to make use of the defense known as double Mabel. Now, double Mabel is essentially meaning that we have 2 different flats on each side of the field. One flat is going to be designed to take away the quick flat. One flat's going to be designed to take away the sideline. And that's why we have our curl flat set to 5 to take away the quick flat, and our flats set to 20 or 25 to take away the sideline. So in a situation like this, the easiest way to do that would be from a cover 2 of some sort. So we're going to shade our coverage underneath to first get the outside corners into hard flats. Remember, the actual blue flats are zone drop to 20, 25. That's going to take away the sideline. Now I want to make sure you can't throw the quick flat, whether it's to like a quick tight end flat or the running back even. Now, you're going to notice with this type of defense that none of these players are going to be open. Everything is going to be defended well. You guys can see the replay. Nothing was open. So you're going to notice that the flats are taken away by our purples, the curl flats, and the deep sideline is taken away by the hard flat zone drop to 25. Now, it's actually super important to note that when you're using a purple zone to defend at the 5-yard depth, never use a seam flat, because a seam flat will get, when you zone drop them to 5, they're going to get stuck in the middle of the field, kind of the way a cloud flat gets stuck in the middle of the field. So you never really want a seam flat at 5 because they're just not going to do a good job. So if you have a purple zone set to 5, make sure you only use curl flats. And again, curl flats are going to be to the right on the left stick, and the seam flat is up on the left stick. So make sure you do the curl flat just as you guys can see here, looking at your play art. Now guys, you also need to make sure you get really quick at doing these adjustments to your zones. If you want a breakdown on how to quick adjust all your defensive players, what each quick adjustment is, make sure to let me know in the comments and I can drop that for y'all very soon.